Welcome to the Disruptive Franchise Podcast with me, Stacey Cann. I interrupt your normal intro with exciting news. Right now, the Disruptive Franchise Awards 2026 is open for entry. So make sure you head to disruptivefranchiseawards.com/awards and get your entry in before Friday, the 6th of March. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Disruptive Franchise Podcast. I am joined this week by one of our Disruptive Franchise winners from this year, Charlotte Hill from Baby Band.
Hello. Oh, Stacey, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I've listened to every single episode, so it's really exciting to be a guest. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I amazed myself that we still do it, to be honest with you, in terms of the chaos. So before we just came on here, I had to restart the recording because I couldn't get the words out of Disruptive Franchise Podcast. Yet here we are every week, turning up professionally. I'm so thrilled to have you on. Obviously, I've worked with you very closely. I've watched your franchise grow, which is incredible. And we've got loads to talk about because, of course, you've also won the award and you do loads of other things. First of all, though, tell the listeners about Baby Band.
So, Baby Band, we like to call ourselves the edgy, cool music group, but I don't know whether that makes us uncool because we're saying it's cool. I don't quite know. Anyway, we are the music group for babies right through to preschoolers and their grown-ups. So it's just as much about their grown-ups having a great time. We use brilliant instruments, amazing music, and we just bring the joy. It's just like 45 minutes of absolute joy. We also have a big festival that we do in the summer, which is just glorious. We've franchised our business. We've started our own podcast. Like, so much has happened in the last couple of years. It's been mad.
Incredible, isn't it? And what did you do before you were Baby Band?
I've got a builder outside my window and he has just ramped up all the noise. I'm sorry if you can hear that.
Can't hear any of it. Fine.
Before I did Baby Band, I used to be a primary school teacher for many, many, many years, and slotted into that, I also had a stint of being a nanny in London as well, which was pretty mad. But yeah, most of my career has been all around working with early years. But as a professional person, it was in the early years classroom.
Amazing. One of my first memories of Baby Band before we ever worked together was that you did Boy Band Week. So you're on socials doing Boy Band Week, and I was so happy with this. I think you had a picture of Take That. I was like, yes. This is one that I wish that I'd been able to take my kids to.
Yeah, it's really interesting. When we first started, it was very teachery. Like, I was trying to create a classroom, but outside of the classroom, and it just didn't hit the mark. And then my husband will say that he is the brains behind the business. He sort of started chipping in his ideas, and he was like, how about we do this and use genres of music instead of awful nursery rhymes. So yeah, this week it's gospel week. Last week, what did we have? Musicals, pop, soul, rock and roll. Yeah, and someone's even requested house anthems. I'm not quite sure how that one will go down. We'll put a Baby Band twist on it.
And in your class, they play real instruments, don't they?
Yeah, so sometimes it might look a bit strange because the instruments are as big as the babies, but it's really important to us that they feel a proper instrument. They sound they sound really nice and they know how to use them. It's really magical to see someone that started as a tiny baby. They now know how to play a guiro or how to play their claves. And yeah, it's really important to us.
And what was the driver behind Baby Band?
So when I was nannying, I went to millions of baby groups and lots of them were really, really bad. And not when I say really bad for the parent, like it wasn't a fun time. Like it was all about the child, which absolutely that should be really important. But, I went to sort of 4, 5, 6 groups a week and just felt so. And I just thought I can do better than this. I can do something that's really different and really enjoyable for the grown-ups as well. So when I was nannying, I set Baby Band up, but I wasn't ever quite in the position to leave that salaried job. And then all of my nanny children went to school. So I was kind of without a salaried job and then went back into teaching. And then I had my little girl. So Baby Band was put sort of on the shelf at that point in my garage, just waiting for the right time. And then when I had my little girl, my application for part-time hours at school was refused. So as a family, we decided that I would just leave school anyway, and we would bring Baby Band 2.0 back to life. And we sort of rebranded a bit. We remodeled how the sessions ran. Yeah, and here we are, 4 and a bit years in now. So it's doing all right.
It's amazing, isn't it? And so what made you franchise Baby Band? So obviously you clearly love doing your classes, you love what you do. Why franchise it?
It's really interesting because when we first started, I'm not even sure I knew what franchising was. The only experience I really had of it when I was at school, I worked at McDonald's, and my boss was a a franchisee. He was a franchisee. So that was my only experience, that you buy a McDonald's or you buy a Subway or a Costa or something like that. And when we started Baby Band, I thought I would be so happy with just doing 3 or 4 classes a week and just off I go, and how, whimsical and lovely. But it became quite apparent quite quickly that I wanted more. I wanted more from that business. So I began to take on teachers as my classes grew, and I wasn't able to be everywhere all at the same time. And then we just sort of had a conversation that how do we get more people to experience Baby Band? And I think that's when I started following people or following businesses on social media of different ways of growing your business beyond my sort of capabilities of my local area. So yeah, that's when I think franchising became a thing. And then I stalked a lot of people, including yourself. I don't know whether you remember, where were we? Was it at the ICAP Awards? Then we were in the bathroom and I was like, I recognise that voice. I came out of the toilet and I was like, are you Stacey? Because I've heard you so much online. I just tried to surround myself with people that knew what they were doing and had the knowledge that we didn't have. And we did lots of courses and spoke to lots of people. And yeah, then had lots of bad experiences of trying to franchise our business, spent lots of money on the wrong people. But yeah, that's all behind us now, and here we are.
It breaks my heart, but it's quite a common tale in franchising, where somebody has the passion, has the idea, has the demand, wants the impact, chooses franchising, which, for me, I'm a bit biased, but it's the right choice, obviously. But then have a terrible experience with not getting the right help, or investing in somebody who isn't quite what they say they are, or gets burned, really. And it always really grinds my gears, if I'm honest with you, and I talk about it a lot online, because it paints the wrong picture of what franchising is. If that's your first experience in franchising, of course it's a really negative start, and a lot of businesses don't really recover from that.
Yeah. It was a really tricky time because obviously we were investing, thousands of pounds in someone that was like, yes, I can help you make this next step. And don't get me wrong, that company did help us with bits of it. There are definitely still elements of what we learned from that company and those people present in what we do now. But it was kind of like, here's some stuff. Oh, well done. You're franchising now. Off you go. We didn't know how to find franchisees or how to be a franchisor. I think I remember a conversation with you right at the beginning when we started working together, that I wanted to feel like a franchisor, not just as in like I'm the big boss lady, but in that I'm able to add value to my franchisees and I know how to support them and all of that. And at the beginning, I had not a clue.
I think a big part of that is that the nuts and bolts of how you franchise a business is fairly logical.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy to direct somebody to fill out the paperwork, do this, do that. But actually, when it comes to growing a franchise and being a franchisor, there aren't a lot of consultants that have lived it. And so that without that lived experience and current experience of what's working, it's almost like, see you later, good luck, goodbye.
Thanks for your money. Yeah. I've given you some stuff, off you go. And we just weren't in the position then to quickly afford the correct help. Like, that was all of our business's pennies, basically. So we had to we were very lucky that one of my teachers became our pilot franchisee. So we felt like we were sort of bumbling along with her, like, oh, this might work, or let's try this, or And it was really fortunate that she was so proactive. And I think we really landed on our feet with our pilot franchisee. And she is a phenomenal franchisee now. You know, she does 8 classes a week, 4 nursery sessions. Like, she is just flying and is such a great example to all of our newer franchisees. Like, this is what it could be if you want it to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they don't want to do work that full time.
But they have the option, I think, and you've modelled to them what the option is, which is great. So obviously you've had that rough start and you're flying along now, which is wonderful to see. But what's been the thing that surprised you the most in franchising?
How much I've loved doing it. I've never been like the team leader or in the senior leadership team at school. I've always just been a teacher, which I don't want to take anything away from being a classroom teacher, but I never had any ambition to become leadership or manage anyone or, you know, speak about my ideas to people. I would just do what was asked of me and go home, and that was that. But within Baby Band, it's been really fascinating to see how much ambition I have. Like, I'm always looking for that next thing. Like, what else can we do? This is great. How can we make that better? But I also love helping people start their own business and seeing how it's changing their lives. Like, that has been mad for me. And I get really emotional about it, not only because they send me really lovely messages or we have gorgeous phone calls or when I go and see them, it's just really lovely. But to know that you've had that impact on somebody, on their life and their family's life, and that they now look forward to going to work is just because of something Pete and I thought up. It blows my mind. So yeah, I love being a franchisor and being the person that they're turning to us for the answers, which would have terrified me before. But you know, I think you've been so instrumental in giving me and Pete those skills to be able to support them and giving us the confidence that we actually do know what we're doing.
Because you do.
In the beginning, it definitely didn't feel like that, Stacey. But now, yeah, I think we know what we're doing now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the development, I've been very privileged to watch a lot of that development with you guys. And you're incredible people doing an incredible thing. But watching your personal development throughout has been just a joy, absolute joy.
Thank you, Stacey. Yeah, it has. And I think because for so many years of my sort of working life, I've loved what I'm doing, or I loved what I was doing, but I didn't really love it. Like, there was never any drive. And now the sky almost that's too much of a limit. Like, what else is there that we can do, which is just amazing.
Which is incredible. And at this year's Disruptive, you came along. First time at Disruptive Franchise Awards.
Yeah.
Finalist in the social impact category, which was our most sought after.
Oh, was it?
Category. It was the most entries that we had. And you walked away winner as lifestyle franchise.
Honestly, Stacey, it still doesn't feel, we've only been in business 4.5 years and we've entered lots of awards. Most of them have been like voted for awards where I've had to be like, vote for us, please. But this is I think it's only the second time we've entered a judged category. And Mike, it just feels mad to have a thing to put on our shelves and to be recognised for, the hard work that we're doing, and that the thing that we are creating is mad.
And so well deserved.
Oh.
Like, your reaction at the awards when we called out your name was just wonderful. Like, it was so good. The surprise on your face, and I was like,
I was so underprepared for that moment. So I was just like, I've been to lots of award ceremonies where I sort of just sit there and I've got a nice cup of tea and I just thought, well done, everyone. Well done, you. And it was the first award. I just wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, let me just check what order they're being done in so I can sort of get myself ready. And it was just straight away. And then the amount of times that I've now practiced what I wish I had said.
Next year.
But yeah, I think it just harks back to what I've just said. The fact that we've been recognised for creating a business, but then helping other people create a business that fits into their lives so much better than anything they've done before it means the world to us. So thank you.
I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't on the judging panel, but it was a really hard fought category. You know, it wasn't an easy category to go in there and win. There were big players in there.
It really was.
And it was hard competition. You know, they're all deserving winners. But yeah, it was wonderful to see you on stage.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, just riding a high. Even now, like we had our team day just a few weeks ago, and you know, we've obviously shared the news with our franchisees on the day, but to be with them in a room and them all to be sort of like, well, yeah, well, why wouldn't we win this? Because look at what we've got. And it just, yeah, it was very special.
Amazing. What I loved when you won your award, you got a lot of press, which was wonderful. You also kind of took the award on a tour with you. You took it to the supermarket. Go and check out Baby Van's socials if you want to see this, because I loved it. So I went to the supermarket, went on trips with you, like took it everywhere. It was great.
Well, we've never won an award. I don't know what the protocol is.
That should be the protocol.
But yeah, we were just so thrilled, and just 4.5 years in to win an award against, like you said, some incredible businesses. And I think in my head, I'm just like, oh, it's just another ceremony where I go and well done, everyone. Well done, you, and have a nice time catching up with other people and, you know, friends and colleagues in the industry. So yeah, I wanted to shout about it from the rooftops for a long time.
I loved it. I loved watching it. And one of the other big achievements that I've seen you have in your business is that when we started working together last year, it was a real kind of mission to help Pete, your husband, be a bigger part of the business, which you've achieved as well, haven't you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's just been, I don't think he ever believed that it would happen. So my husband is head of performing arts at a secondary school in York. You know, a really demanding full-time job. And then I make him work extra for Baby Band. You know, he does so much behind the scenes that I don't celebrate enough. But our plan was always to try and withdraw him from school, so to reduce his teaching responsibilities at school so that he's able to do work for Baby Band during the day rather than just when the world sleeps. So yeah, because we have grown our franchise from when we first started working with you, Stacey, we had just our pilot franchisee, and we've now got 7 franchisees. We were able to reduce his teaching to 4 days so that he's got a full day working in the office for Baby Band, which blows his mind that this is a thing that happens, which is so lovely.
So wonderful. What I love about it is that it was that we sat down and we looked at, okay, what's the goal?
Yeah.
And what does it take to make that goal happen? And I don't think either of you believed it was going to be like a thing, but we're like, okay, well, let's just plan it. You know, like it's a numbers game. Let's go make those numbers happen. Not just like pulling as many people as we can, the right people. But actually, when we sat and mapped out that goal, you know, to have achieved it less than 12 months later, it's wonderful. So good.
It is. It's so nice. And what's been really lovely as a result of that is that we're able to be a lot more strategic in our planning for the next 12 months, in the sense of how, you know, sort of not how quickly can we reduce his teaching timetable, but what's the next point? Like, how many franchise do we need to get? Or, you know, what other income streams can we bring into the business that he's able to do? You know, my plan is to get him out of school to send him back into school. I don't know whether he knows this yet, but like drumming workshops or band workshops or, you know, holiday camps and things like that, that our older baby banders, people that started with us are now much older, and they still love it. And we want to be able to provide a service that they can still experience, you know, the baby band magic.
Love it. I love it. And so, as well as being franchisors for this incredible franchise, you said there you've got the podcast kind of came out of us trying to find you a good channel. So we kind of created that. But also you run this incredible music festival. Tell us about that too.
We do. So again, this was something, we have a big whiteboard in our office here, and there's a section in it that are our mad ideas. And on there, I just so within our classes, we have live musicians come into our normal sessions. And I wanted to be able to do something on a larger scale. So we started in the July, and then I was like, let's do a festival. And Pete very quickly was like, yeah, like year 2 or year 3. I was like, no, next year. So sort of year 1, the end of year 1, we did like a a guinea pig festival, if you like. So a micro festival where we had like 230 people come, a big stage, market stalls, food, face painters, and just glorious sunshine. And it was a really heavenly day. Like the concept worked. We'd never organized anything before, but it went to plan and everyone arrived and did what they said. So then the next year, the following year 2, we moved to a different venue, which had, capacity for a much bigger audience. So year 1 was like 230, and then we went to 1,500 attendees in the second year. So much bigger scale. And now it is a complete passion project. Like it's just taken hold of me. So yeah, it's a glorious day. So again, it reflects what our ethos is for our classes, that you're not coming to see BBs. Like it's a proper festival that parents love, with proper bands. You can grab a gin and tonic or a cocktail. There's really nice food, but it's really child friendly. We have loads of other activity providers come along, and it's just a really gorgeous day. So much work. It's like a ridiculous amount of work. Heavenly, like seeing everyone enjoy it and see them access bands and live music that they probably wouldn't see. We had a baby who was 4 weeks old at the festival, and she's seeing this incredible thing. I mean, I know she's not really going to remember that, but she will come every year and they'll be like, "Oh, you first came when you were 4 months old." And yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of work. And I think any sensible business strategist would say, this is not earning you a lot of money. Stop doing that. But I just can't, this year was a particularly hard year. The weather was against us. We had lots of sort of tech issues with generators and stuff. And Pete and I were a bit broken, and we thought we were going to sort of Glastonbury it up and take a year off and come. Then the next day, the tickets went on sale for next year. So here we go again.
You need that momentum.
Yeah. It's heavenly. I absolutely love it. And what was really special about this year's one is all of our franchisees came, and we had a baby band tent where they just kept sessions rolling throughout the whole of the day. And yeah, it was just heavenly.
Absolutely magic. Charlotte, what advice would you give to people thinking about franchising?
Definitely do it if it's right for your business model. I can't give you any advice whether it is right for your model or not. If it is the right thing for you as a person in your business and for your business to roll and expand out that way, then definitely do that. It is going to be really hard, and there are going to be days where you probably don't want to leave your house, but the rewards that come from all of your hard work are just heavenly. For me now, going to a class of one of my franchisees and watching them deliver my idea, mine and Pete's idea, I mean, yeah, I have to sort of take a beat every time. But yeah, just take that risk and take that leap and gather all of the knowledge. If someone has got a nugget of information, write it down somewhere in a book, because you might need that information at some point.
Definitely. I think the other thing that is quite prevalent as you're kind of coming up as a franchisor is looking around everyone else. We had lots of conversations about, they're doing really well, they're smashing it, what's not happening for me? And I now get this about you, she's doing so well, why can't? And it's funny, isn't it? Because the grass is always greener and it always looks easier on the other side. But what advice would you give to people who are kind of looking around going, it's not happening for me, but it's happening for them? Just keep working really hard. It feels relentless. And I have this with lots of my families that come to my classes. They're like, it's just exploded, hasn't it? Like overnight. And you're like, yeah, it has. And it's a slog of hard work, but we know now, thanks to mainly you, we know that this process can be brilliant, and that if we put these systems in place and we rinse and repeat and tweak and learn and all of that, the rewards are heavenly. And it's just being consistent with what you're doing. And I think we had a conversation a few weeks ago where I was like, I've really taken my foot off the gas with getting new leads in and not doing anything with them. And that's now evident because there's not anyone really in the pipeline for my next franchisee. So I just need to reset and get back on with the systems that I know work, basically. Yeah, it is rinse and repeat. Don't get bored. It is. Yeah. Love it.
It does. It feels really not lonely is the wrong word. You know, I spend a lot of time on my own working, but I've gathered people, maybe virtually or in real life, but I've gathered people to be able to sound things out with and create my virtual staff room, if you like.
Yeah, I like that virtual. Oh, yeah, very much so. Charlotte, if there's one thing that you could do and I like wave the magic wand and failure is gone away, guaranteed, what would you do?
Stacey, there's many more than one thing. I think the first thing, and I think, you know, we are on course for this to be a thing. We want to be a household national name. Like it's a rite of passage that everyone goes to Baby Band, and that's just what happens. Like you're almost, when you're pregnant, you know, like I can't wait to book. I need to book onto Baby Band now because I'm missing my class. So that's just like the given that that's going to happen at some point. But we would love to roll out the festival to different areas of the UK. So sort of have a north and Midlands and a south and Wales and Scotland. We would love to have some sort of stage musical. I don't quite know what that looks like, but like the Baby Band show would be a great thing. I mean, it just goes on. Pete is just like, no more ideas, Charlotte, and I'm adding them to the board because at some point we have a gorgeous business mentor and he's like, you know, we need an animation on CBBS. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do that, but let's do that.
You have to dream. I love with you guys that it's always safe for you to dream, because a lot of people, I can't even think about that. Like, and I've had to promise my other half I won't start any more businesses, but you have to have the dream, make, you know, everything come true. And when you were talking about the festival earlier in the conversation, actually, I was like, as the franchisees grow, this is going to go all over, whether it tours or whether it pops up at like, totally.
It is. It's the mad idea is when they become a reality, that's really special. And just the other week, I was speaking to the CEO of the person who manufactures our instruments, and we were talking about getting branded Baby Band instruments, which is an idea on our board, which in the beginning was so in the realms of fantasy. But now we've got a plan of how we're going to roll that out and how that's going to be an actual thing. And it's gorgeous pinch me moments like that where you're like, okay, what's next? What's next?
Yeah. At the moment, as we record this, I'm rereading a book called The Magic of Thinking Big.
Ooh.
And it's a great book. Can't think who's written it, but I'll put it on the socials. It's a really good book. It was written in like 1959. He's writing about, there's this, what makes it relevant, he's writing about, there's even talk that they're going to dig under the Channel Tunnel and make a connection between the UK and the continent of Europe. I remember that happening when I was a kid. So that's how far ago. But like, this is the thing. If you don't dream it, you can't.
Yeah, we are terrified of it. Not terrified. That sounds really dramatic. We don't want to become stagnant and just be Baby Band. We want those conversations from our families and our franchisees where we're like, oh my goodness, like this has happened. And we want those reactions for things that we're creating for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
We need to keep striving.
Got to keep going. I love it. Charlotte, I've loved chatting to you. Absolutely loved it. I love hearing about what's going to happen. I'm so there for that. I really am. I think what I get from this is that people assume that there's such thing as an overnight success, and there's not. You got to put the hard work in. But equally, you've got to have the vision.
Yeah.
Without that vision,
it just won't happen.
It just doesn't happen.
No, we have a really gorgeous analogy that we talk about being on the runway all the time. So we're such a new business. We're still on the runway, and maybe the front wheels are just starting to take off. Maybe they are. We're at the end of the runway, but there's still so much to happen once we've taken off. And it's really exciting building those things that are going to happen.
Yeah, it sure is. It's great watching it as well. Charlotte, thank you so much for being on this week.
My pleasure.
How can people contact you if they're listening? I need some Baby Band in my life.
Yeah, well, of course they do. So you can find me on social media. I'm at Baby Band Music on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok.
Yay.
You can also just head to Google and type in Baby Band, and we will hopefully be right at the top.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone for listening or watching if you watched this on YouTube. If you've enjoyed the episode, drop us a review and let us know what you thought. And I'll see you next week. Before we finish up today, I'd love to just thank our podcast sponsors, Book When and Make Your Mark Podcast Agency, without whom this episode wouldn't have been possible. You can find more information on both amazing companies in the show notes. If you've enjoyed listening to today's episode, please also make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and I would absolutely love it if you left a review too. See you next time.